All right, guys, I'm back. So listen up. Today is a really special episode. It's actually the Facebook Live that I did last week called Ambitious Motherhood and the 4 things that I wish I knew while I was going after my goals and raising my children. These are 4 things that I'm going to talk about that I definitely was not taught by my parents or my parents' parents. Culturally, we're not taught these things, and this is why we end up feeling burnt out, miserable, and exhausted. But before we dive in, I'm going to let you know 2 things. 1, if you want to watch the live version, the video version of this audio, then you can just check it out on my Facebook. So go to facebook.com/Heather Chauvin Coaching. Uber simple. And in the the Facebook Live, I talk about a free resource that I wanted to give you that you could instantly download and you didn't even have to opt into. You can check that out. It's the Plan the Life You Crave Blueprint. So this is a great starter on allowing you to kind of figure out, taking inventory of your life, what's going on, where do I want to be, what do I want to start cultivating? This is a little bit different than the aligned workshop that I have coming up in December. You can check that out on my website. It's heatherchauvin.com. But for the sake of keeping it simple, the instant download URL for the Plan the Life You Crave Blueprint is at momisincontrol.com/blueprint. As soon as you go to this URL, it will instantly download. No need to opt in. I just want to give you this free resource. So I'm all about the magic happens in the action. It's very easy and simple for people to go and buy the self-help books, to listen to the podcast. But how we actually create transformation in our lives is by doing the work that makes us really, really uncomfortable. So during this audio, I talk about, a little bit of my journey. I talk about those 4 things that I wish I knew. And yeah, just kind of pull back the curtains for you a little bit. And I thought it would be of service to post it here as well. So I'll be quiet now. And thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so incredibly grateful for you, for your emails, for your reviews. It has been an incredible year. Growing this community with you guys and just listening to you. So I'm super excited to, see what 2018 brings. All right, let's dive in. I think we are here. So welcome everybody. For those on Instagram, I will be facing this way, so you probably won't see me looking at you. Just make sure all the tech is there. Yay. Okay. So like I said, this will be available it'll be recorded and I'll be sending out the link if you are on my newsletter. And I may, if you want me to, be posting the audio on my podcast, the Mom is in Control podcast. So welcome guys. I'm Heather Chauvin. I'm the founder of, like I just said, the Mom is in Control podcast. And today I'm going to be talking about ambitious motherhood and the 4 things that I wish I knew when I was raising my children and going after my dreams at the same time. I'm going to be talking a little bit about my backstory, what I call, or not what I have coined, but my mess to success story, what got me to the point of where I am today. We're going to be talking about cultivating deeper connections with your children. We're going to be talking about how you can cultivate and create that space to breathe, to allow it to be easier and more productive than you've ever been. I'm going to be talking a little bit about cultivating joy and ease into your day, even if your partner isn't into personal development or you're just feeling extremely overwhelmed. And we're going to be talking about harnessing your energy and creating and cultivating energy that you never knew you even had. Even if normally you feel depleted and you're trying to raise happy, awesome children, be mindful there is another way to be. So we're going to talk about that. It's probably going to be about 45 minutes or so, but at least the first half hour, I'm going to be doing content. Lots of, if you have a question, you can comment below if you're watching this live. If you have a question on Instagram, you can post it on Instagram. But I want you to say, I want you to say. I want you to have a pen and paper ready. If you're passively listening to that, that's perfectly fine. Like I said, I will most likely be posting this audio as a episode on my podcast. So you can check that out at heatherchauvin.com /podcast. And my last name is spelled Chauvin. So pen and paper, you're going to get lots of juicy tips, simple action, simple strategy that you can take ASAP. Bring your questions, like I said. And if you stay till the end, I have a free gift for you. It's a direct URL. You don't even need to opt in for anything. Nobody knows what this URL is. And I'm going to be posting that for you. I'll tell you what the URL is at the end. So you'll be able to do that. And it's an instant download. So as soon as you go to the URL, it's just going to download for you. You don't even need to opt in. And then if you are one of those types of people that I call it spiritual entertainment, where you love podcasts, you love books, you are on a million newsletters, and you're just like consuming this information, but you're not taking action on it, I'm going to highly suggest that you just stop watching this now. Why? Because the truth is you have everything you need. The reason why change isn't happening in your life is because you're not actually implementing and taking action. So if you're an ambitious go-getter and you truly are committed to getting results, and we'll be talking about that more, then at the end of this conversation, I'm going to let you know how you can do that and step into that with me if it's a good fit. And you and I can chat on the phone first to make sure it's the right fit. All right, guys. So you know who I am. So how did I get started? Hey, Susie. There's so many people here. Susie, Kendra, awesome. Haley, who else is online? Let me know. Where are you guys from? I want to know. Where are you from? Post below. Even if you're watching this, what am I trying to say? Even if you're watching this after live, let me know. Where are you from? Where are you from? And if you feel so called, share this on your profile, please, because I'm sure you're not the only one who is interested in this topic. There's most likely people in your own community. And as you're going to see, a lot of us struggle with all of these things because we're not being honest and authentic with ourselves, and we're not surrounding ourselves with the right-minded people. So as you know, I have said I'm Heather Chauvin. I've been doing this work for, actually, I was thinking about this. It's been about 8 years, but I'm a mother of 3 boys who are almost 13, 8, and 5. So it was about 13 years ago when my world was rocked. And what I mean by my world was rocked is because parenting was a true awakening for me. And it was in that moment when I looked at my son and I realized that things needed to change. And I just thought, I'm being handed this gift. I'm being handed this human being. And in order to be able to support and to guide him, I have to show up. But I didn't know how to show up in my life. So I slowly pulled back the layers of what it meant to show up in my life, what it meant to take action, what it meant to feel alive. And where this got me was down this unconventional path. And a lot of the women that I attract in my community and into my coaching programs, I always say, welcome to the crazy club, because this is where you feel different. You've probably already been, you're like, maybe you've always felt like the black sheep. You've always felt a little bit different. You've always thought outside of the box, right? You question things. And depending on where you're questioning things, people will, have some pushback and say, hey, Susie, so-and-so, Heather, don't do that because, just go with the norm, right? And so when we end up doing this in motherhood, what happens is a lot of times we end up miserable, exhausted, burnt out. We're seeing divorce in our future. We're seeing misery, depression, anxiety, medication. And what I mean by medication, I'm not against medication, but what I mean by that is just a constant searching, right? I need to find a fix for this. And so when my son was about 4 years old, at this time I was in university, I was studying social work, I was working in the mental health field, and I had access to all of the education, all of the resources, the local professionals that people were like high ranked, right? And when he was 4, I noticed a huge shift in his behavior. And the shift was severe anxiety, severe anger. And I didn't know how to support him. And by not knowing how to support him, what happened is I reacted and I would yell and I would get angry. And then he would react and he would yell and he would get frustrated. And so I was at this turning point where I was like, this isn't working. And why isn't anybody doing anything about this? Like, I'm educated in this topic and I don't know how to solve my son's problem. And so it was really, really frustrating because, I went to the pediatricians, I went to, everyone that they referred me to, and I always felt overwhelmed. I felt like nobody was actually holding my hand and helping me. And I kind of felt like, they were telling me, oh, it's just a phase, he'll get over it. But my intuition, right? And we all have this intuition, and this is part of something that I teach. Trusting that internal voice and knowing what that voice is for you, and whether that is, it's not ego and it's not monkey mind. It's not, that little voice that's trying to convince you of why you're a shitty parent or whatever. It's that little voice that says, what do I want? What do I crave? And I'm going to be getting more into that in a minute about soul aches and really trusting your gut and making that intuitive decision. And so my gut just kept saying, Heather, there's something more, there's something more, there's something more. And so as I went down this path and I started looking at the breadcrumbs and leaning in, this is when I found mindfulness. This is when I found meditation, and I started teaching my son. And that's when I started my business, because I really seen a need and a desire to teach these tools and strategies to children so that they never felt like I did as a child, which was extremely overwhelmed and not feeling in control of my big emotions. So emotional intelligence is huge, and that's something I teach as well. And I'll be talking about that later in this conversation. So then I started teaching my son meditation, and I had this big aha moment. And the aha moment was, how can I, write this down, how can I expect my son to feel in control of his anger and his emotions if I do not feel in control of my own? I was projecting, and I see this a lot of women constantly projecting, and parents and dads and grandmas and everybody else, right? You need to learn meditation. You need to calm down. You need to go after your dreams. You need to do this. When, you turn it back on yourself going, do I need to do these things? Do I need to learn to calm down? Do I feel in control of my anger? Because the truth is, if I felt in control of something, if I knew, it's like the same thing. Let's just say driving a car. If you know how to drive a car and someone says, can you teach me? You may, well, depending on if you want to teach them or not, you'll say, yeah, sure, I'll teach you. And then you're able to teach that person and guide them and coach them through the process because you already know the skill and you practice it, right? But what happens is someone is asking you, can you teach me how to fly an airplane? You're like, heck no, I don't know how to do that. If you do, that's awesome. But you're like, I don't know how to do that. Oh, but yeah, sure, I'll get in the plane and I'll try to teach you. And then the plane crashes. My point is, you cannot teach or guide other people to do things if you're not willing to do the work yourself, right? You cannot. It's impossible. You are an imposter. You are a hypocrite. Don't do it. Keep your mouth shut, put duct tape over your mouth, and stop telling your children to become and be these people that you're not willing to become and be yourself. So how do we turn this around? So this was my big aha moment. And I thought to myself, the greatest gift I'll ever give to my children, my son, my 3 boys, is the gift of becoming the person that I most desire them to be. We learn from role models. And I've been interviewing amazing people from around the world who are, and I hate the word experts, but they're people who have dedicated their lives to transforming the lives of parents, the lives of adults, the lives of children. And I hear over and over and over and over and over and over again, role models. You are your child's best resource. How you can hold space for them, how you can show up emotionally for them. And so as I, started doing the work myself, I evolved and I left my corporate gig. I dropped my title as a registered social worker and I decided to become a coach. And the reason why I transitioned into the coaching world was because I wanted to teach people how. I didn't just want to hear their stories. We weren't going back into the past and saying, this is what happened, or, my parents did this to me. It wasn't about talking about the problem. We still talk about the problems, but it comes from a very different place. So it's not about talking about the problem. It's about how can I change the problem? How can I? How can I? How can I? I always say, put your how can I hat on. If you're not putting your how can I hat on, you're addicted to your excuses and you're stuck and you're not getting anywhere. So the big transition, and this is what I'm going to be talking about today with Ambitious Motherhood and the 4 things that I wish I knew when I was going after my goals while raising children, is everything shifted in my business 4 years ago, almost to this date. It was December 21st, 2013. I was diagnosed with a stage 4 cancer. And guys, when I got diagnosed, I knew I was sick. I already knew I had cancer. It's a weird, very intuitive way. But when I say way, what I mean is thing, where my gut was like, yeah, I already knew this. But I was running away from the truth. I was running away from the truth because I was so terribly scared. And I was butting up against a belief that I didn't have time to take care of myself. I just didn't. I believe this. And it's socially acceptable. I hear it every fucking day. And it's really, 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 really annoying. Oh, I just don't have time for that. What you're really saying is it's not a priority for me. And that's okay. We've been taught this as society, especially as women, to neglect our needs to the point where we're going to die. And then when you die, you're labeled as a hero. And I'm kind of over it, quite frankly, because I see so many women struggling to hold it together, literally not being able to pay their bills or just scraping by saying, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, feeling like they never have time, feeling like they're never enough, and they're projecting their shit onto their partner, onto their children, their clients, like their work, everything. And then they're attracting the same energy into their life. And then they go, why am I attracting this shitty stuff? Well, when you're vibrating at a low consciousness level in your life, you're going to attract that. So I'm not saying, and I'm not even going to get in this topic of attracting cancer into my life, because I'm not a huge advocate of like, everything happens for a reason. What I'm saying is I had a low vibration when it came to self-care, a very low vibration with self-respect. And because of this low vibration, I neglected my needs. And when I neglected my needs, I got sicker and sicker and sicker to the point where my abdomen was so swollen that I looked like I was 8 months pregnant. And you may be thinking, yeah, right, Heather. When I went to the emergency room, they said, oh, honey, triage is upstairs. We don't accept pregnant women in the ER. Just go upstairs and they'll help you. And I looked them dead in the face and I said, that's the problem. I'm not pregnant. Now, what was wrong with me that I allowed my body to become so diseased with illness that it got to this point? We do what all mothers do. At this point, my youngest was a year old and, sleep deprivation kicked in and all of that fun stuff. But yeah, I just kept convincing myself, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And every sign and symptom that my body and my mind tried to give me, Heather, a little knock at the door, right? Every knock, that I'd be like, oh, I'm fine, I'm fine. Who cares about the ache? Who cares about the chronic fatigue? Who cares about, low energy? Who cares about, well, I guess low energy and chronic fatigue are the same thing. Who cares about mild depression, just wanting to stay in bed, right? And again, what was the response that I got from society? It gets better, Heather. It just gets better. Hang on, hang in there. Bullshit. It's better when you fucking take back control of your life. So today I'm cancer-free. And I believe that I got on the other side of this illness, disease, whatever you want to call it. I'm here. I'm thriving. I'm healthier than I've ever been. And I have an opportunity to up my game and make a difference in the world. Through this journey, I've seen many people who have upped their game and fully shown up for cancer or whatever has come into their life. And then, their body and soul decided to part ways. But I'm here for a reason. And the work that I've been doing with people has drastically shifted every aspect of their being, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, their relationships, their relationship to time, to money, to energy, the relationship that they have with their children, how their children show up in the world, their children's future. Like, it is amazing what happens when you shift the core. So think about a house, right? If you've ever built a house, seen a house being built, you can just imagine that if you build the foundation, if your house is built on sand, it's going to sink, it's going to crumble. And if you've ever watched a house being built, sometimes you notice that like the basement, the foundation take a really, really long time. And then once the foundation is set, the house goes up like that very quickly. Foundation is everything. Core is everything. And too often I see people starting to build the roof and go down that way, and then wondering why shit ain't working out in their lives and not realizing the connection. Your mental health, your emotional health, your relationship to time, to money, to energy, to your purpose make a big impact on your children. They make a really big impact on your children. And so going back to how cancer really shifted the work that I do with people, before I got diagnosed, I was teaching a lot of parents how to teach mindfulness to their children, how to really, truly understand what their children's behavior is telling them. And the feedback I was always receiving is, Heather, I don't have time to do this with my kid. I don't have the energy. I don't have the patience. When I'm, sitting there and it's the end of the evening and I just, we pop into meditation or I'm reading something, I'm trying to connect with my child. Then he starts wiggling and then he's laughing and I just want to punch him in the face and I can't do this and I'm going to lose my shit. And I'm so afraid that I'm fucking him up. And, why can't he? Why can't she? And then they're overwhelmed, they're frustrated, and they're back at square one. And so this is coming up again and again and again and again. Why can't he? Why can't she? And the truth is because we're constantly projecting, and it's our level of consciousness. So how do we cultivate a deep and calmer connection with our children? Even if you feel like it's too late, and even though you have this ambitious drive, this ache within you, how do we cultivate deeper and calmer connections with your child? First, you have to cultivate this connection within yourself. And I'm not saying you need to quit your job, move to Bali, travel the world. What I'm saying is you need to start realizing that the connection you have with yourself, with something higher than you, listening to your aches, listening to the symptoms, listening to your body, your mind, your soul, you can then do the same thing with your child. Because the work starts from the inside out. So, get out your pen and paper. These are some tools and strategies. Now, I know I'm going to tell you these tools and strategies. You may have already heard of them. It's about implementing. And so I'm going to be talking about that later in this conversation. But guys, shit doesn't happen and change doesn't happen unless you do. So where do you start when you just feel uber overwhelmed? A journal. If you can see this, here's a journal. Literally get out scrap piece of paper. I don't care what you do, and get out a pen and start writing. A prompt that I like to use is I want, or I crave, or I desire. Pick one. I desire, I crave, I want, whatever you feel connected to. Write it down. I want to go to the washroom. I want a coffee. I want space to myself. I want a new outfit. I want a date night. I want to make shit tons of money. I want to travel the world. I really want to go for it in my business this year. I want a deep connection with my child. I want my husband to understand and love me. I want to feel like I have control of my time, my energy, my money, my life. Whatever. You cultivate, you make up this shit. You are in charge. You are. And when you start to connect from this place, guess what? You become the coach, you become the leader, you become the guide for your child or children. You become the leader, you become the guide, you become the coach for the people around you. A lot of the women that I work with are either in business for themselves or in business for somebody else, typically in a management position, or they're the stay-at-home mom or somebody who is just aching. They can feel that they need to take the jump, they need to take the leap, but they just haven't yet. And there's always a projection, there's always a mirroring going on of what they're feeling and what their children are experiencing. So let me give you an example. A child might be unmotivated in school and they're just like, they're kind of lacking, right? And you're sitting there, you're frustrated, you've gotten the tutor, you've talked to the teachers, and you're like, what the fuck? How can I get you motivated? How can I get you passionate? Well, guys, if you're dimming down your passion, if you're not giving yourself permission to be passionate in your life, how in God's name, yes, I said that, can you expect your children to do the same? They don't know how to tap into their motivation and their purpose and connection. They don't know. But you are their teacher, you are their guide, you are their life coach. So if you don't know how to do this, how do we expect our children to do this? So it all starts with you. So how can we start creating the space in your life to breathe? It's easier and more productive than you might believe. This is 100% true. So energetic time management is something that I teach. This is number 2 of the 4 things that I wish I knew. So the first one, I didn't really tap into this. I didn't say it. So number 1 was conscious parenting. We just talked about conscious parenting a little bit of like becoming the person that you so wish and desire for your child to become. Seeing and understanding them as a spirit, seeing and understanding them as human, seeing and understanding them as their own unique being and not your mini-me and not an extension of who you are. They came through you, but they are not you. Your child picked you. This is my belief anyways. Your child picked you and said, she's going to be my mom. Even if it was through adoption, she is going to carry me through this life. Our children are our greatest teachers because if you want to know where you can grow, just enter a child into your life and they will show you exactly. Parenting is personal growth on steroids. So the first thing that I wish I knew when I was going after my goals while raising children was conscious parenting. How I can consciously raise my children rather than constantly reacting to my own personal triggers. So instead of trying to buy my child's love with presents and gifts and all of these things to shut them up every time they would cry, I realized that it's okay for them to cry. It's okay for them to feel their emotions. It's okay for me to be triggered, but realize that I have part in this too. I barely discipline my children. And it's not because I never want to say no to them. It's because we have conversations. There's no this and that. It's a mutual respect. And by doing this, I needed to start respecting myself. So conscious parenting is number 1. Number 2, energetic time management, creating the space to breathe. You're going to feel guilty. I'm telling you now. So just write that down. I was reading this. It was a quote by Ariana Huffington or something, but Kate Northrup, you got to check her out. She was talking about sustainable success. And she is the author of Money, a Love Story, but she's been talking about conscious, living and creating and being an entrepreneur and a mother at the same time and how to do that effectively. But she's talking about when she gave birth to her child that she felt very, instant guilt. And her mom, Dr. Northrup, said something about, oh, honey, yes, it's something in the water. And Ariana Huffington said, it's like they take out the baby and they insert guilt. Guilt is part of the process, but understand it doesn't need to consume us. It's an emotion. I don't even know what guilt is. It's an emotion. It's an emotional state of being. It's a monkey mind, but we need to reassess it. It's just like fear. Fear enters into your life. You don't need to like live through fear. You can co-create with it. So it's co-create with the guilt, right? Talk about it. Bring awareness to it. What is it here for? Why is it trying to get our attention? What is it trying to hold you back from? And when it tries to hold us back, this is when we feel stuck. This is when we get depressed. This is when we feel anxious. We lose energy. We lose momentum. We lose positive motivation in our lives. And that is not serving anybody. That is not serving the world. By you hiding, you are not being of service to anybody. So energetic time management, game changer. Game changer. This, oh my frick. I've mastered this skill. It was something that I really, really, really had to focus on after recovering from treatment, from cancer, and I had no energy. So Danielle Laporte is a huge mentor of mine, inspiration. How do you want to feel? How do you want to feel in alignment with your life? How do you want to feel in alignment with your time? So I would ask myself, I want to feel alive. I want to feel strong. I want to feel energized. So let's just take these 3 words, for example. What specific actions do you need to take? And this is another writable, so get your pen. What specific actions do you need to take on a daily basis to feel alive, to feel energized, and to feel, I don't even know what the other word I just said, alive, energized, strong? So get out your pen, get out your paper. You can use these words for the sake of this example, or you can ask yourself, how do I personally want to feel in my life? How do I want to feel, right? Not how does my friend want to feel? How does my husband want to feel? How do my kids want to feel? How the fuck do I want to feel? That might be an epiphany in itself of like asking yourself, oh my God, I matter. Of course you matter. You are you. You are your life. Okay. Strong. I'm going to work out. That allows me to feel strong. Energized. I'm going to not drink coffee. That's fake energy for me. For you, it might be different. Yeah, I might have a little coffee to get me up in the morning, but I don't need to function and expect coffee to be my energy. Maybe I'm going to live more in alignment with the energy that I want. So I'm going to go after my business. I'm going to create it in alignment with how I want to feel. I'm going to surround myself with people who allow me to feel energized. I'm going to walk outside. I'm going to have really good conversations with my kids. I'm going to declutter my home and allow the energy in my home to feel more energizing and not so depressing. I'm going to, just lighten the load, whatever that is. Guys, this is the point. Your intuition is constantly guiding you and showing you where you need to go and where you need to grow. It's whether you choose to take that action and to listen. That's where the magic happens. So I would do little things. And again, you want another tip or resource, passion planner. The reason why I've tried all these planners, do whatever one you want, but the reason why I like the passion planner is because it gives me the time on the calendar. And a lot of people have resistance to scheduling, but it's fail to plan to fail. I get it. I'm creative. I'm go with the flow. I do not want to feel restrictive in my life, but I will tell you the magic happens when I create a plan and I have action steps because we're busy. We have busy, full lives, especially when you're raising children. There's lots of responsibility, lots of things to do. And how can you want to talk about overwhelming yourself? It's all in your head. How can we put this on paper and follow through? So the reason why I like the Passion Planner, you can just check it out at passionplanner.com. I have no affiliation. If you do purchase one, you can put in my email address, heather@heatherchauvin.com. And typically when I get free ones, I just give them away to people that would not be able to afford a passion planner and to help them and mentor them through the process of living more in alignment. So my point here is the reason why I like it is because it has the times on it. So it'd be like 6 a.m. to like 10 p.m. or something. And It's not that, okay, at 6, I need to do this. At 7, I need to do this. At 8, no. The reason is because you become intentional about cultivating and creating your day. And when you become intentional about cultivating and creating your day, what happens is, one, you're more productive and you get shit done. But then you can ask yourself, is this realistic? So I may put on my calendar Friday, 9 a.m. to noon, nothing. I will literally scratch it out and go, nothing, or relax time, or just be, right? Because, or read a book. Oh my gosh. Some people, it's like painful for them to just sit down and read a book, right? Because they're like, I want to go, 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 go. If reading a book is in alignment with contentment or creating more ease in your life, it doesn't mean that it needs to feel good right now. It means you need to cultivate the habit so that in the future, your brain can catch up. Creating neural pathways in your brain. It can catch up. And as it catches up, what happens is you cultivate and create a different way of being. So that's about energetic time management. It's not about managing your time. It's more about managing your energy, but coming from a place of, how do I want to feel? Not how does Heather want me to feel? Not how does my kids want me to feel? And it's not a generic of like, oh, I just want to be happy. What the fuck does that mean to you? And if you need more clarity around that, you need to get clear first before you can even begin. So energetic time management. So number 1 was conscious parenting. The 4 things I wish I knew with going after my goals while raising children. Conscious parenting. I'm such a nice person when I'm parenting consciously. Number 2, energetic time management. Number 3, one sec. Number 3, cultivating and creating ease and flow. Ease and flow. What does that mean? We hear it all the time. Ease and flow, ease and flow. Guys, this can be easy. The only thing standing in your way is you. It's your mind and the story that you are telling yourself of why you can't have something, why you can't do something. Oh, my kids. I guarantee you, if you gave yourself permission, your kids may not care. Oh, my husband would never do that. He worries too much about money. Great. Is this the way you want to feel for the rest of your life? Do you need to have a serious heart-to-heart with your husband? Do you need to make your own money? What do you need to do? Create ease and flow. When we are living in alignment, and what I mean by alignment is with how you want to feel, that soul ache, that part of you inside that goes, write a book, start your business, run a marathon, work out, eat healthier, stop yelling at the kids. Don't do it this way just because your mother wants you to. You know, this year for the holidays, maybe we'll just go on vacation and we won't buy any presents. Or they'll just have one gift under the tree and then we're going to go on vacation. You know, I want a lot less in my life. Maybe I'm going to downsize everything. Maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe. That is alignment. When you're listening to your want list, when you're listening to your crave list, I crave, I crave, I crave, I want, I want, I want. Your body knows, your soul knows, but you're not listening. So you get the list and then you go after it. And this is where number 4 comes in. Emotional intelligence. Vulnerability, the ability to know yourself, know the emotions that are coming up, know how to navigate them. I'm a huge advocate of tapping and energy work. I do a lot of it on my clients. This is a background of mine. I love, love, love clearing energies in the body and in the mind. And I like using tapping. I like using visualizations, clearing out the blocks. Energy just gets trapped in our bodies. Motions through our bodies. So, example, you're angry. Your child is angry. You can feel it. How do you know? How do you know where you're angry? You can feel it. You're vibrating. You're whatever, right? You're red. You feel the smoke coming out of your ears. You can feel it. You can visualize it if you close your eyes. Why is it there? It's trying to get your attention, guys. Every behavior is a language. Every behavior is a language. When you feel in control of your big emotions, fear, anxiety, overwhelm, and you know how to manage them, they're just like other children you've, brought into your life. Hey, why are you here? Okay, I got it. I'm still doing this Facebook Live. I still got writing to do today. I still have interviews to do today. And I'm going to cook and I'm going to take care of my kids and we're going to go to the park and we're going to play and blah, 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 blah. I am in charge. I am in charge. But sometimes it's a big process. So just knowing and co-creating with emotional intelligence, awareness. This isn't about going, oh my God, I'm afraid. Oh my God, I'm scared. I'm going to avoid and I'm going to drink these problems away. Oh my gosh, I'm so anxious. I'm just going to binge on Netflix and hide all day. This is called codependency. This is called soft addictions. And this is what is literally crippling our culture. I don't want to open my Visa card. I don't want to open my bank accounts. So I'm just going to avoid it and shove everything in the drawer. How do we expect to create freedom in our lives, abundance in our lives, if we are avoiding? So emotional intelligence is something that I am a huge advocate of, something that I teach, and I love it because when you know this shit, you can then teach it to your children, to your employees, to your colleagues, to your staff, to your husband, to your mother, to your sister, to your brother, to your rabbi, whoever the fuck you want to teach it to. But if you don't know, if you are not leading your own life, somebody else will lead it for you. Somebody else will lead it for you. The last thing I want to talk about is how to harness energy you never knew you had. So this whole time I've been talking about, it's not like all rah, right? There's a lot of content in here, but energy, time, and money are very similar. But the only thing is with time, we can't create more of it, right? So time is one of those fixed things. It's actually an illusion. It doesn't even exist. It's a man-made concept. But, the whole 24 hours a day, that's, it's a man-made construction of time. But we can't really create more time. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. Energy and money, we can create more of. So energy is our fuel. It's our source. We get it from how we move our body. We get it from the fuel we put in our body with food and water. Energy, there's an emotional energy as well. And this is where a lot of the clearing comes in. This is where you got to do the work. And this is where you got to just reassess and gain the intelligence, the emotional intelligence of, who am I putting in my sphere, right? Is one of my children sucking the life out of me? How can I protect my energy? How can I set some energetic boundaries? How can I be more respectful of my energy? How can I respect my child's energy more? So when you start to understand these concepts, when you start to master these concepts, what happens is you have an endless amount of energy. You've created abundance with your energy. And when you create abundance with your energy, you can transform your life. Your relationships are going to drastically shift. Your business is going to drastically shift. Your money, your time, your energy. So understand that when you live in a lack mindset of, I can't. Oh my God, I can't. Oh my God, my child. I got that phone call today from the school. Oh my God, I'm so scared. I don't want to look at my bank accounts. I just can't do it. Oh, I have to ask for money. Oh my God, I don't want to do that. I don't have enough time. I just can't. I don't have enough time. Oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't have enough time. So restrictive. So restrictive. The opposite is, okay, I don't have enough time right now, but is this a priority for me? Yes. Okay, how can I create time for this? Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. What about next week? If I'm using my passion planner and I'm doing my energetic time management, how can I cultivate and create this? Because it really matters to me. Money. I want to go on that vacation. I want to buy that new car. I want to buy myself some new clothes. I want to get my hair done. Heck, I want to get my eyebrows waxed. Heck, I want to get my mustache waxed. I want to go on a date night. Maybe I have to hire a babysitter. How can we do this? If your marriage, the way you feel, the life you want is a priority to you, you will put on a how can I hat, and you will ask for help, and you will seek guidance, and you will get the support that you need. That was time, that was money, and energy. Say no. Say no to what is no longer serving you. Say no to something that doesn't light you up. It's okay to say no. It's okay to go, I have so much on my plate right now. It's okay to say, I have so much on my plate right now, but thank you for asking, when you have nothing on your plate and you're just going to chill. You're just going to read. You're just going to journal. Yes, I know you are so selfish for wanting that. So guys, I want to say thank you. I'm going to be talking about your free gift. I'm going to be talking about next level, if that's something that you desire. 2018 is coming your way. So you can definitely head on over to my website, heatherchauvin.com. If you want to do, if you're just into goal setting, I have a simple paid workshop coming up in the middle of December. You can check that out on my website. It's called Aligned 2018 workshop. It's $300 US. You're going to be getting a shit ton of value because we're going to be talking about cultivating and creating that plan. You're going to have a PDF. You're going to have step-by-step guidance. And I'm going to be personally coaching you through the process so that you'll know what you're getting, what you want in 2018. And you're going to definitely know how to make that happen. Your free gift. And then I'm going to let you know about my Mom is in Control Mastery program. This is a year-long experience where I'm going to literally kick your ass and helping you cultivate and create the abundance and alignment that you truly want in all aspects of your life. But your free gift, let me just see. Where is the, oh crap. Let me check, guys. I had the URL out and then something happened. One sec. I think it is I'm going to look it up very quickly. I don't know why it just didn't show up. I had my little notes and it didn't show up there. So just give me one quick second, guys, and then I'll see if there's any questions and be of service. Okay. Yes. Go to Mom. This is your free gift. So what it is a Plan the Life You Crave Blueprint, printable PDF. And I'm going to show you exactly how to get clear on what you want and start to cultivate that. So you're going to be like, what do I want? Where am I? So some of the things that we talked about today, but just starting to generate, that energy in alignment with what you do want. It's very different than the Aligned 2008 workshop that I was just talking about, because that's more of a goal setting for 2018. So this one is just starting to get you there. So go to momisincontrol.com/blueprint. Free. As soon as you go there, it's going to automatically download. No need to opt in or anything like that. So thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to stick around for another few minutes, I'm going to talk about the Mom is in Control Mastery program that I do. This is my signature program that I offer for ambitious women who are used to asking for help, or they want to ask for help. Thank you, Kendra. I see you, so thank you. But for women who are really ready to jump, to leap, to get outside their comfort zone, to really cultivate community in their lives. And they want to break the generational pattern in their parenting. They want to get out of this emotional pattern. They want to up-level their lives and become the version of themselves that they know they are capable of. They want to really go after their soul aches. And a soul ache is that thing that never goes away. So oftentimes people be like, oh yeah, I've always wanted to do this, but And then on the other side, when they do that thing, that's where the freedom comes in. That's where the craving comes in. There's no reason why you need to have this constant sense of pressure on your chest where you need to be chronically sick. There's no reason for this. The only reason is because you're just staying stuck and you're not evolving. As human beings, we are created and cultivated to be there and to grow. Thank you, says Porter. Thank you, Porter. People are just messaging on Instagram. So the Mom is in Control Mastery Program, you can check it out at momisincontrol.com/MIIC, or you can check it out on my website. And it is by application. So you do have to apply. Once you apply, I'll personally be reviewing your application. If you're a right fit, then I will be reaching out and we'll have a conversation to explore the possibility. We're going to be talking about, I'm going to be showing you step by step by step. So you have email access to me, you have text access to me, you're going to have one-on-one with me, you're going to have group support, you're going to have community support. But more importantly than that, you have the training and the how-to. So you're going to be having the PDFs, you're going to be having the videos, small, tangible action steps. So we're going to be showing you, how do I start cultivating those relationships with my children where I want to become a conscious parent, but I just have no idea where to start? Energetic time management. Excuse me. Energetic time management. What does that even mean? I'm so confused, right? How do we begin to manage my own energy? I just feel like everybody else is managing my life for me, or they're just taking from me. I'm going to show you how to take back control of your energy and therefore feel like you have more time. We're going to talk about ease. We're going to talk about flow and emotional intelligence. So all of the things that I talked about today, I'm going to actually show you how to do it. But guys, it's not in a way like this isn't like a university PhD course. This is action oriented. Your life is full. My life is full. The magic happens in the action. And what I often see out there is a lot of people, doing that spiritual entertainment where they're just consuming, but they're not taking action. And so the magic happens in the action because we're actually changing those neural pathways in our brain. We're cultivating, we're creating, we're breaking patterns, from generations and generations, that if you grew up in a household where, it was selfish to take care of yourself and money was sparse, your mom always blamed you and didn't have enough energy and all of these things, you're going to realize that, we got to unlearn a lot as women, and we have to recreate our stories about how we want to feel so that our children can have better futures and so that they can cultivate and create better relationships with women or men or whoever they end up with friends, and the career choices that they make and their mental health as well. Your mental health affects their mental health. So your emotional health affects their emotional health. And by creating this ease in your life, it just gets so much easier and you attract more to you. So I teach you all of this. So if you want to learn more about the program, I highly suggest you head on over to momisincontrol.com/MIIC. If you have any personal questions, just email me, heather@heatherchauvin.com. Look at the program, fill out the application. And more importantly, I'd rather talk to you than you being like, oh, that's not going to work for me. Because oftentimes when we're stepping closer to the ledge and we're going, I want this, I'm scared, we're backing out before we've actually taken the action. So the magic always happens in the action. So I look forward to reading your application and talking soon. Also wanted to give you a heads up. When we're recording this, the recording is happening on November 15th, 2017. If you apply by November 28th before midnight Eastern Standard Time, you're going to be, and you go through the application process, you're accepted, you're in the program, you will be gifted a 60-minute one-on-one coaching session with me. So it's additional $300 value that you will be gaining if you enter the program, if you apply by November 28th. And I know the holiday is coming up, Christmas is coming up, New Year's is coming up. Don't be one. I said this to my husband the other day. I'm like, why do you got to be one of those New Year's resolution people? Like, January 1st, I'm going to do this. It's like, guys, you're already thinking about the next year. So take action now. If you take action now, we have our conversation before the new year. You can always start in the new year. So understand, the more we wait and go, it's not right, the time is not right, the time is not right, the time is not right, you're finding an excuse to push off the inevitable that your soul ache is never going to go away. So I want to ask if anyone has questions about the program, the content, let me know. Post it on Facebook in the comments, post it on Instagram. And then other than that, I will wrap it up. Let me see if I got any information here. All right. Boop, boop, boop. Let me see. I'm going to check one more place. I see one comment. There's a few more. So let me just check and then we'll go from there. Thank you for this. This is wonderful. Definitely something I needed to hear. You do a phenomenal way of putting words to my emotions and fears. Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you so much for the value and the content. Yes. Katie, hey, Heather, thanks for this wonderful info. Regina, yay, Regina from North Carolina. Amazing. I love seeing where all you guys are from. Okay, so I could go on and on and on and on, but I did receive a few emails. Heather, I'm really, really looking for a mentor right now. How do you know who is the right fit? Also, my ambitious goals are not always in alignment with what my husband is craving or wanting, or he completely doesn't understand why I am doing this. What do you suggest? Okay, cool. Great. Great question. Okay. And it was from Melissa. Okay, cool. Melissa, so this is the conversation that I've had with my husband many, many times. But I remember the first time I really invested in myself and I said, I want more. I want more in my life. I want more in our marriage. I want more for our children. I want to feel in control of my life, but not in a controlling way. And at that time, I was very controlling because I didn't feel like I had control, right? So to me, investing in myself was cheaper than a marriage. Cheaper than a divorce. And I could see my future that if things got so bad, our marriage wasn't going to work. And a lot of times men are ROI, what's in it for me, return on investment, right? Invite him to the conversation. But I think this is an opportunity to have a vulnerable conversation with your husband, regardless of you investing yourself or not, to say, what do you want in your life? How do you want to feel? Trust me. Trust this process. This is where the evolution of your relationship starts to grow, right? The second part of your question was, how do I know someone's a right fit for me? You connect with the person or you don't connect with the person. I'm not for everybody. I'm very open to the fact that I only work with women who are committed to doing the work. So if you're addicted to your excuses, meaning you're not willing to be open-minded and you have a fixed mindset and you're very closed off, like, we're not going to be a good fit. If you're offended by the F word, we're not going to be a good fit. If you're willing to take action, you're willing to reach out, you're willing to be vulnerable, you're willing to ask for help, then there's possibility there. But you have to find mentors, and it doesn't have to be coaching. It could be anybody. I mean, I'm talking about like even your doctors. If you don't share the same values with people in your life that you are asking support from, then you got to look outside of yourself, right? If you have a health problem, you're like, my values are not in alignment with my healthcare practitioners, you got to find new healthcare practitioners, right? If you're an advocate for whole foods, real foods, then you have to really start finding people who are advocates that food is medicine. So you got to look. But if you have an inkling, an itch, an ache, like lean into that and go, just take the next baby step, the next micro action step. So if that's something you're interested in, then I highly recommend we chat. So just head on over to mamisincontrol.com/MIIC. All right, guys, I could literally talk forever and ever and ever. Send me your questions, heather@heatherchauvin.com. I look forward to reading your applications. And beyond all of that, I really hope you gain value from today's conversation. Listen to it again and again and again, and most likely it will be up. Most likely episode 205-ish on my podcast, the Mom is in Control podcast. Check that out on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. It will be called Ambitious Motherhood. And just listen to this over and over again. Get out your pen and paper and remember, take action. That is where the magic happens. Thanks, guys. Talk soon. Bye. All right, ladies, you heard it here. I just want to give you a quick review of all of the URLs that I talked about and resources. You can also find them in the show notes on iTunes under this show or on Libsyn. But just to give you a heads up, if you want to go watch the live version of this Facebook live that I did, then head on over to facebook.com/Heather Chauvin Coaching. The link for that is in the show notes. If you want the opt-in, the Plan the Life You Crave Blueprint, free of charge, no opt-in, immediate download, then head on over to momisincontrol.com/blueprint. That link is in the show notes as well. If you're interested in the Aligned 2018 workshop, it's $300. As a podcast listener, you will get $200 off. That is going to expire on December 1st. So go use the promo code podcast 2018. And if you are interested in joining the Mom is in Control Mastermind, the Mastery Program, I've renamed it. This is, for women who are so done with their bullshit and excuses and they're ready to up level and they understand the importance of investing in themselves, time, money, energy, because you are your child's greatest resource and your life changes when you change. So you can fill out that application at momisincontrol.com/MIIC. And then you and I, if it's a good fit, and after I read the application, you've taken some time and some effort in filling out your application, and I feel like I want to explore that conversation with you. We're going to talk about your goals, your personal goals, your professional goals. I want to hear about your children. I want to hear about, the big vision that scares the crap out of you. And we're going to see what's getting in your way. And then if I can support you, I'll let you know how that's done. If I feel like I have a colleague or somebody else who might be of better service to you, I will definitely point you in that direction. Why? Why would I do that? I'm doing that because this isn't about the money. This is about you radically transforming your life. And anybody who is doing anything of service out there are not doing it for the money. It's not about the money. It is about you creating possibility for yourself and getting out of your way so you can truly live, truly feel alive, and more importantly, so that your children don't have to deal with all of this bullshit when they are your age. That you can kind of speed up the process for them so that they're not dealing with your unconscious crap when they're a parent one day. That's really why I do what I do. So thanks, guys. Head on over to iTunes, check out the show notes, share this with a friend who you know would benefit from it. And as always, thank you for being here and much love. And the magic happens